My start to this little bonkinator went a little unexpectedly, and that was of course with an immediate server crash. But I logged back in without too much effort. Lucky for me, the Petits servers jumped back online almost immediately, unlike officials where you have to wait like 10 minutes. So I was back to the grind of growing. I have to say, this is a very unsafe Pachy growth area. A lot of herbivores and carnivores pass through this area, but mostly young carnivores. However, this time my growth was rather unaffected. And apart from this strange Jesus stego that we saw in the lake, there wasn't much to do. I grew peacefully, didn't bonk much of anything, and once I felt chunky enough, I decided it was time to travel to Highlands, since that's where I wanted to grow. Or, well, finish growing. Highlands is very eventful. There's always dinos, but there's also a lot of herbivores. Sometimes it's hard to find a big group of packies, so my next best bet was to just hang out with other herbivores and sort of be like their bodyguard. Unfortunately though, not much I can do to save things from a dino. And the dinos around here were quite brutal. They camped this one slightly safer drinking spot, ambushing anything that didn't have a quick enough reaction time, or that was just too slow to run away. It's a pretty tragic thing to witness. And so, instead of doing anything of use, I just screamed for like 10 minutes straight. I think I thoroughly wound these dinos up. As for the dibbles though, they weren't too impacted by this loss. The babies watched, nervously, but the numbers weren't very affected. Clearly these parents were pumping them out. I nestled down amongst them. Don't mind me, I'm just one of your children. A little bigger and a little bonkier than the rest. Soon one of the children started warning calling, which I didn't notice to be an issue, until I saw a crap ton of blood, and a very sassy dillo. In a past life, some dillos had done excellent work on taking out my entire species. Let's just say that video didn't make the final cut, but I was holding a lot of resentment. And so, with my high ping and relatively low skill on the Pachy, we chased him down. Also, not the best decision considering it was night and we are dealing with a dillo old enough to create clones. But that wasn't gonna stop me. Why else was I in Highlands if not to bully the smaller predators? I'm not sure why, but my teammate became the target, probably because they had more hits on them originally, so they were just trying to finish off what they started. And meanwhile, I didn't have the best aim. Or the best frames. Either way, the chase was on. Now that my teammate was fully envenomated, we had to kill the dillo before the clones got to him. After some panic, sprinting, and jumping in circles, we made our mark. My teammates' hushed whisper indicated their low health, and all our angry screaming had alerted the bigger dillo to our exact location, and he clearly knew who was more hurt out of the two of us. Finally, I had gotten the thing to stop running. He turned to face me, and I tanked him to death. But you know how dillos and their clones are. And so, the grey Pachy who had been with me through my whole growth, and who had by pure chance found me even after logging out and returning the next day, was dead. And no, I didn't learn my lesson about screaming and three-calling. And so, as the sun rose, it was time to start my first day alone. If you're still here, congratulations, you have made it past the 5-minute mark. 40 to 50% of people click off in the first 3 to 5 minutes. Probably because they have a low attention span, but maybe because they hate my guts and or don't like women. Neither does this Dino. This Dino hates women. That's why he tried to bite me just then. Isn't that so rude? I think he deserves a good screaming at. All jokes, by the way. Don't take any of that seriously. But in the last few days, there has been a significant decrease in viewership. Maybe because my thumbnails are lame, but maybe also because YouTube seems to be having some sort of issue with desktop viewers at the moment. So a lot of YouTubers are having the same problem as me. Look at this evil Dino. He's definitely one of those desktop viewers. He clicked off. That's why we hate him. That's why we scream in his face continuously. This went on, by the way, for like 5 minutes straight. I have an issue with dinos. I'm sassy. I also saw this bird, and I thought he looked quite funny. I don't know what it is about Pachy's, but every time I play as one, the dinos have the biggest beef with me. I think dinos genuinely hate Pachy's. I mean, it could just be because I always scream at them continuously and give their spot away. You know, maybe I'm the one who hates the dinos. Side note, a whole corpse fell out of this tree. It could have just been a body drop, but considering this is Highlands and there's no body drops here usually, I don't think it was. I think whatever was in the tree either starved or maybe it stored its dino. It probably didn't starve because there's a body right down here that has organs and stuff picked out of it. I'm honestly not sure. There's 2 bodies there. Either way, I still wasn't very trustworthy of the tree. I kind of felt like there was maybe still something up it. Never trust the trees. That's the law of the land, everyone. And look at all these damn herbivores. I also saw this bird, the one I was looking at before. I wanted to say hi to him, and I jumped in front of this Maya. I'm a bodyguard of the bird. I actually just saved that bird's life. Also, look how the dinos are swimming happily. So I of course thought, since I've only seen 2 dinos this whole time, that that was the only 2. No. Apparently there was another one. So my 20 to 30 minutes of non-stop screaming at the dinos finally got the better of me. He also showed me off to the other dino, which kind of made me angry because I felt like they were overpacking, but apparently they're allowed to overpack when they are hunting, as long as they don't eat together or fight together. I don't know, I kind of feel like they should have to fight, but whatever. Either way, I wasn't done with the bonkening just yet, so I got a 2nd gen. I grew this one up the same evening after I died, and then the next day I logged back in. I found this Tenno just chilling, and I'd previously seen him running through the woods, so I kind of wondered what he had to show me. I felt like he was telling me something. He was speaking my language. He had something he wanted me to bonk. And, in the distance, I heard a little something. A very faint call from a Sarah. And so I charged. I felt confident. Why not? Maybe I shouldn't have felt that confident, because I'm still trying to figure out how exactly this whole charge up thing works for the bonk. I've sort of figured that when you look sideways, it cancels, but if you're still looking forward, then it doesn't, so yeah. I'm still learning, okay? Ignore this embarrassing attempt to jump over the river. That's just, I have no words. And then I missed my bonk here because the bonk cancelled. But no worries. This is why I like fighting as a Pachy with another large herbivore, because you can let them be the target while you just scurry around the outskirts of the battle, bonking, breaking their leg. Though this whole time I don't think I broke any legs on this Sarah, I still hit him a decent amount of times. And it was good practice for the future. I also had to be cautious the whole time because obviously I didn't want to bonk the tenno and disable their kicks, commit them to an early grave. That would not have been very nice. But luckily we were successful, and I was feeling locked in. So of course I thought to myself, hey, why don't I go all the way back to Highlands? Great idea, I know. Oh, and why don't I make more dinos angry, because that is my skill. So I smacked this guy on the tail as he was carrying away a corpse. I don't think he liked it very much, but I don't really care. Never let the wet lizards be happy. In the future, you might see a dino video from me. That will be a rare moment. I don't usually have the best luck on dino, because I feel constantly terrified that at any moment another dino could come and end my career. So for now I sat on my ledge, being angry, like I usually do, until I decided that maybe it was time to continue my journey, my great migration. This place was barren anyway. There were no other Pachys, not many other herbivores other than the tenno, who I had completely lost. I don't know where that guy went. And so, Highlands it is. Can I also say that I do not understand trike players? Like, genuinely, I'm sorry if you guys want to see a trike video. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I am not growing a trike. That is just, I can't imagine anything more unfun. I barely think I want to grow a Rex at all, to be honest, but a trike is like another level of unfun from that. If you have fun on them, I'm very happy for you. Good for you, because I do not have fun on them. But I'm sure when Rex comes out, they'll definitely be more interesting. You'll have something fun to fight. I am excited to witness those glorious battles. Ignore my tragic frames, because over the hill, I heard the sound of my own little battle. And I decided to jump in, even knowing that fighting raptors is like the most silly thing I could possibly be doing. I tried my best, and I got jumped. And then I got pinned. They jumped up when they saw the approaching dibble, but the dibble sucks. I'm sorry if that dibble was you, but genuinely, that made me so angry. Why? Why did you do that? Like, when something's pinned, it still takes damage. You gotta be careful where you hit. You can't just plow me over. That got me orange. I was cooked. And this steg was very unfriendly, by the way. He was protecting his little guy, though, so I understand. I got myself covered in some mud because I was not feeling very good. I didn't want to bleed either. And then I slowly sent myself away into the bushes to sulk. Definitely not one of my most glorious moments. Here is where I squatted down in sadness and solitude. Until of course I was almost run over by a tenno. I got up because I was pretty nervous that he would just kick me, not knowing what I was. But luckily that did not happen. Now, new moment coming up. I am on orange, which you will see soon when the footage changes. Orange health, there you go. Now take a look at the size of the dillo that runs up on me. I don't know what percent you get your loud footsteps, but it's pretty small. He still had young dillo footsteps. So, do you think this is possible? Yes or no? Take a gander. Personally, I think not. Yeah, so later this was actually confirmed to be a hacker and I got given a voucher for my troubles. So in the next video, I'll be able to grow my Pachy all the way back up to 100% almost immediately. And I'll get back to some real bonkening. So get excited for that. I get some good kills in that one. But for now, here's just a short little placeholder video until the views hopefully come back to normal. I hope you enjoyed. And I'm glad you're not one of those people who clicked off in the first 3 minutes. That would be so rude.